5 minutes' time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get things off and running. Obviously, it's a very exciting day for everybody here at Walsall Football Club, and I'm sure you've got lots of questions to ask our two co-chairmen that are sat alongside myself. Just for the sake of introductions, Lee Pomlett might be a name and face that's more familiar to you, maybe a little bit less so, but things are about to change with Ben sat to my left-hand side. We'll hear some opening statements from both of the gentlemen. And like I say, we'll take some questions from the floor. If you do have a question, just raise your hand. We've got a radio mic, and we can make sure that the room can hear your questions as well before we break away for the one-on-one. So without any further ado, I'll hand you over to Lee.
Yeah, well, welcome everybody. I think this is a very, very important and exciting day for the club in terms of realising its potential. I think I've been here 3 years as chairman. It seems longer, but it's been 3 years since I took over. And when I did take over, I immediately began to think about what the future might hold for the football club and how much I could achieve on my own, as it were. Then COVID hit. So the plans that I was working on were put really aside for a couple of years. But then about a year ago, Ben and I met, and we began to work really hard on what the future of this football club might look like. And I think I have a vision, and frustrating that the vision cannot be achieved as quickly as I'd like. And I recognised fairly early on in my tenure that to get where I wanted to go and fulfil the ambitions of the football club, doing that on my own was not a wise thing to do. I needed to find somebody to come alongside to drive the ambition I had for the club, but recognising on my own was not a good thing to do. So Ben and I met. This is going back, as I've said, about a year. And it's been a very hard-working, intensive year, backwards and forwards across the Atlantic, to realise the deal that we signed at 10 o'clock on Wednesday night. And so the future of Walsall Football Club, I decided, along with the rest of the board, needed to be different. It needed to be more exciting. It needed to be accelerate the pace of change, and we needed a partner to do it. And the result is Trivela and Ben coming in alongside the organisation, buying, controlling, shareholding in the football club, because I believed that was the right thing for us to do. And so Ben came in. This is the end of a very long journey. In fact, the last 2 weeks have been incredibly intense. The time we've spent with lawyers on the phone, I hope will never be repeated. I really do hope it will never be repeated. So that's enough from me. It's about the future. It's about accelerating the pace of change, which is best done in partnership with Ben and Trivela than on our own. I'm pretty tired of being the chairman of the small club in the Midlands. It's time that we shouted a bit louder and made up Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Bromwich Albion, and the Villa, and anybody else listen to us a little bit more than we have to listen to them, with all the respect in the world to them. So it's just time for a change, and so that's, for my introduction, that's all I wish to say. Other than building on what's been a very good history of this club. We haven't got to where we wanted to go at this stage, but the infrastructure of this club and the financial of this club are as good as anything in League One or League Two. And Ben can therefore come in and work with me to build on the foundation that's already been created by this football club over many, many years. And with that, Ben.
Perfect. Thank you, Lee. As Lee said, has been said, my name is Ben Boycott. I'm the managing director of Trivela Group, and very honored now to be able to say I'm one of the directors of Walsall Football Club, and privileged in that to be serving as co-chair alongside the man to my left, who's become a close friend and a mentor to me as well. So thank you, Lee. Have in the room with me the rest of our executive leadership team at Trivela Group, and on behalf of all of us, just want to say what an honor it is to be here. This is a big club, and this is an important club. There's a history here. There's a legacy here, over 130 years worth of it. And on behalf of all of us, just our true compliments to Walsall. You have an outstanding football club that has always maintained its position in the EFL while being financially sustainable, which is not an easy feat. And that's a testament to the leadership of the board, to the leadership of Lee. As we were talking about the other day, 40 years of combined leadership between Stephen Gamble and Dan Mole. So there's a nucleus, a foundation of leaders here that we're very excited about. And I'll add to that, we're very positive about the appointment of Michael Flynn. I think he came in a difficult situation halfway through last season and was able to deliver the needed results. And so we're behind him. We're very positive about him. What I'd like to say overall, most of all, though, is our sincerest compliments to the town of Walsall and the supporters. Your faithfulness is powerful. One specific point that I'd say is, just one specific example is we've seen season ticket sales this year were higher than season ticket sales last year in an environment where the economy is tough right now. It's hard out there right now. And frankly, we didn't finish in the table where any of us would have wanted to last year. And in that environment, for the supporters to come out and increase their support for this football club is a very powerful thing. That's the energy and the passion that's in this town for this club. I've felt it. I've been in this stadium for multiple matches over the course of the last years, and you can feel it when you're here, and the responsibility of stewarding that energy, that passion that the town has for the club is something we take very seriously. So a little bit about us, Trivela Group, who are we? We're a relatively newly formed sports investment firm. It was founded last year by myself and my partner, Ken Polk. Ken is the CEO of Arlington Family Offices, which is a boutique firm serving a select group of families in a holistic way, a number of areas, not the least of which is capital management and capital advisement. My background personally is in finance, investments, organizational leadership, and a few reasons why we founded Trivela Group. A few very simple reasons. First of which is we believe in value investing. We believe in investing in things that matter in the world, that matter in communities, things that will last, things that will stand the test of time, and ultimately investing in things where we believe we can have a positive impact. We're very passionate about the game of football, and we're very passionate about the impact that it can have on local communities. And when we met Lee and Stefan a little over a year ago now, it became obvious very quickly that that Walsall was the place that we needed to be. And so we've become very passionate about this club and this town, and have spent considerable time and energy sorting out the right structure for the future of the club. And so a couple points on that, like what does the future look like? So I'll go back to something I said earlier, is we're very positive about the core foundation of leadership that's here. We believe in the leadership in the front office. We believe in Michael, and we view ourselves really coming in as accelerators. So on our leadership team, we have a lot of strategic capability in both the business side and the footballing side, not to replace what's here, but to come alongside and assist and accelerate. We also believe that the right targeted capital investments can help things move forward as well. So specifically, what does that look like? First thing is the stadium. It's been agreed that within a 2-year time frame, Trivela will bring additional resources into this club to allow the club to exercise its purchase option on Poundland Bescott Stadium. And so this club will own this stadium. That's of critical importance, as Lee has said many times over the year. That's of critical importance financially to the club. It's of critical importance generationally to the club that we secure this ground for this club for the generations to come. Additionally, we'll be doing work on game day supporter experience, not the least of which will be an effort to revitalize and reopen the Sadlers Club. On the pitch, obviously, it's a football club. I think we all care more than anything about what happens on the pitch, and much could be said there. I'll reiterate that we're in full support of Michael Flynn and his efforts moving forward. And I'll say that we as a group share the ambition that he has stated publicly, that we want to see this club back in League One. Ultimately, we want to see it pushing for promotion to championship. The infrastructure is here, the community support is here, the resources here. There's no reason why that shouldn't be our future, and it's time for that new future. So with that, I'll end where I started and just say, truly, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be one small part of the team that will take this club forward. Today marks the last day, as Lee shared, of a lot of work, a very hectic year of getting to this point. And now, frankly, all that's ancient history, and today is the first day of the next chapter in Walsall Football Club, and we're ready to roll up our sleeves and get to work. And with that, I think, unless you have something else, Lee,
I have nothing else to say.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Ben. Any questions before we break away for the one-on-ones? Steve here.
Good to see you and welcome.
Thank you.
To the Midlands. You talked about League One, and Lee, I know slightly with tongue-in-cheek perhaps, but you talked about chasing the clubs like Villa. There's a difference between League One and Villa in the Premier League. How far, Benjamin, do you want this club to go?
Well, I think it's steady incremental improvement, right? It's one step at a time. As I said, we're here for the long haul. And so first order of business is to put the right puzzle pieces in place to allow us a meaningful opportunity to pursue promotion to League One. And then we'll see where the future leads beyond that.
And why Walsall? I think many of us were surprised when the news came through that investors from America, a long way away, why would you put the pin in the map at Walsall?
I thought that was obvious.
Why not? No, that's a fantastic question. So why Walsall? So as I said, we set out looking to invest in football clubs. The first thing that drew us here was something I said in my comments, is the passion and the energy. I mean, it's unique, it's special. You can feel it in the stadium, and you can see it in things like what I shared earlier about season tickets. So you look at that, that's an interesting first step, and you build on that. Operationally, it's a very well-run club. Financially, it's a very well-run club. The leadership we believe in, and so things are working quite well, we believe. And then the last piece that was very compelling to us is the potential. I mean, this has, as Lee said, this has all the potential of an upper League One or championship club from an infrastructure standpoint, potential in the academy, potential in the Sadlers Club. I mean, there's so much upside potential here that it and just walking through those things became very obvious that this is where we wanted to be.
And Lee, just finally from me to you, you talked about the interest and the conversations going on for about a year.
Yeah.
How did it come about? Where did the spark come from?
There is a guy who helped us bring the two organisations together, and he introduced us over a year ago, and there was a chemistry almost immediately. Ben knows he was not the only option. We were talking to two other consortiums, one in Asia, another one in America, but they didn't feel right to me. I discounted the Asian one fairly early on in the process, and I discounted the second one through the COVID process, because you've got to be, if you're still enthusiastic over a COVID period about the football club, you're the partner for me. And I detected with the other partner they weren't so enthusiastic during the COVID period as I'd like them to be. But we sensed, even though it was the toughest time this football club's probably ever been through, Ben's enthusiasm was undiminished after that. And so we were brought together by another agent, and Ben was looking for a football club to invest in. I was looking for someone to invest in a football club. The two came together at a pretty good time. As Ben said, he'd been to a number of matches no one knows. People describe me as one of the best poker players I've ever met. Ben actually has been to a number of games and undercover, as has the Trivela team. And we met, we got to know each other. As I say, I spent time in the States, and Ben spent time with me. Steph's been very, very heavily involved with this. But this has happened through a huge amount of hard work. This has not been there's some money and investment, let's make this happen. This has been grinding, quite hard work over the last 12 months to get there. But it just feels so right.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, well, we'll break away for the one-on-ones there. While the television guys move outside to get set up, we'll go over and do the writtens and the radio over in the far corner of the room. Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.